let's see. Looks like our stream is up and running. Okay, I think audio is also there. Hopefully that's working. If not, well, doobity-doo. Let's see, I'm going to shrink down a couple of windows around here. Move a couple things around, and then we will get started. This is another installment of our Mapvember live streams. So, if you haven't tuned in previously, I'm currently working through the Mapvember challenge that is hosted or created by roleplayingtips.com. So I found out about it through the newsletter that John 4 sends out, and so I'm mapping it up here. In previous live streams, we got through a few of these maps. Let's see. Last time we finished the Forge, so we'll cross that off, and now we're on number 7. Oh, is that somehow not showing? Oh, what a weird thing. As I'm crossing this off, it doesn't show. Let's see, what if there we go. I had to switch the way that OBS was showing this. Alright, so, we finished the archive. We finished Breach, Cistern, Den, Echoes, and Forge. So we've got all of those are complete. And now we're going to start on Grotto. So turn this off, and I'm working in Dungeon Draft. First thing we got to do is choose some map packs, and I'm using assets from 2 Minute Tabletop because they have really cool stuff. I really like their art style. If you head over to their website, 2minutetabletop.com, you'll find they have a fair number of free battle maps that you can download, stuff like that. I'm a member of their Patreon, so I get their battle maps as well as access to these map assets, which come in handy when you're making your own stuff. So, let's see. We have a grotto, and what do I want to, I'm going to search in here to see if, oh hey, check that out. Pirates Grotto and Megaflora Grotto Plus. I think Pirates Grotto is actually this static map. I don't think it's actually the individual assets, but we're going to select it. We're going to, we're going to make sure we keep that on there. Let's see, do we still have, okay, good. Let's see. Pooling Caverns. Sounds like that, that will be a good map pack to have here. Rock Pools. Not sure if that's going to work or not, but Sacred Spring maybe? Yeah, let's give it a shot. Try to quickly go through and choose a handful of assets. Dungeon Chasm. I wonder if, I bet that would have worked out really much better with my Echoes map. But it's too late now. We have moved on. Dungeon Pool. I'm not sure if that's going to work out because that's more of like a cut stone area and not so much of a natural grotto. Let's see. Scrolling through here quickly. Driftwood Cove. We'll try that. I don't know. It doesn't have a preview image, so I can't tell if that's going to be what I want or not. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Not root cave, maybe. Natural walls and cliffs. I've liked that when I've used it for previous maps, so I'm going to keep including that one. Scattered islands, probably not going to work out for this. What else do we need here? Underground sanctuary. Sure, we'll add that. I don't know. Again, that might be more dungeon related, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. You know what, I'm going to add Acid Cave because I kind of feel like there might be something in there that could be helpful or interesting. Desert Catacomb, probably not. Yeah, I'm going to keep Cave Room Builder. And cave tunnels, why not? Okay. Hit accept and make a new map again. Most of the maps that I'm making for this are 16 tiles by 10 tiles, so I'm going to stick with that. See if we can quickly get this map sorted out. All right, so our grotto. The grotto, it's kind of like a big cave with like some pools and stalagmites and stalactites, stuff like that, right? So, let's see. Do I want to start with a water brush? Well, what if we start with a gravel brush and just kind of start painting some stuff in here that's what happens if we do, yeah, smooth blending. That's a little bit more like what I want. Just kind of randomly go around in here, create some areas where there's gravel. Maybe that gravel area also represents where our water's going to be. Should we change the color of our water? I don't want to go too crazy with trying to pick colors because then I'm just gonna get caught up in that. So make this brush size here like this. Go around here and here. Yeah, I'm gonna disable the border on that because I think it looks a little bit better. Something like here. And over here. Some of these are looking a little bit flat. I'm going to turn off snapping and see if that it doesn't really change it too much. It still has a couple of sharp angles in there, but we're just going to keep going with it. Just keep going. Keep on going. Okay. Yeah, that works. One of the things that I was also thinking about is maybe like if I can find a way to display like a waterfall or something in here, but I would have to play around. Oh, my music stopped here, didn't it? Let's get that going again. Okay. Hopefully that keeps going. Alright. Let's go to our object tool. Stalagmites. Add a few of these in. The difficulty is, I think we're going to be a little bit, because there isn't a huge variety of these, we're going to have to get creative with how and where they get placed. Don't want this to make it seem like it is cutting off opportunities for movement completely, so I'm going to back these up a little bit more. Actually, maybe that does block off right there. Yeah. Alright, I think what I want to do next is create sort of a some raised sections here. So, what do we have here? Cutaway texture. Okay, let's see what happens if I edit points, not on. Okay. Now, yeah, if we use some cave wall action here, kind of trace around where I just filled this in. Let's see what happens. See if this gets me what I'm looking for. Not quite what I was looking for. Which is a bummer. What's going on with this guy? Come on, you. Oh, hit that. There we go. Alright, we'll keep that. What if we go to our path tool And this one might be kind of interesting. Let's see what happens if we put... That's really big. I don't like that. As I've said in multiple other streams, please don't take my fumbling around as a tutorial for how to use Dungeon Draft, because I'm totally mucking about here. Oh, you know what I can do? When I'm in the path tool, I can reduce the width here. Yeah, if we do that, does that? Well, for that type of texture, doesn't make sense for that one. But I think I might like that one, Cave Builder Ledge. So let's go back to our path tool, put this back at 1, and let's trace out around some of this stuff. All right, I think that's good. Here, select. Well, sure. I'll just resize that part. Does that give an indication that it is higher than other areas? Okay, let's do this. Let's move this guy right out of here. Oops. Why is it selecting this? Don't select that. Why is it selecting that? Alright, I'm going to save this and reopen it. Grotto. Close that. Reopen Dungeon Draft and see if that fixes us up here. I've noticed that happen a couple times with Dungeon Draft lately, and I don't know what the deal is. There, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get to that. Because I want this. I want to raise this up. Now we're going to take this and see. Turn snapping off. See if this kind of fits underneath. Yeah, it kind of does. But I need to edit some of the... Well, I'm just going to start over with it. How about that? And let's see what happens if we go into this texture. What was that? Material brush? Well, let's see what happens here. Smaller brush size here. Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I don't like that one. What was I on? Pattern shape tool. There, that's what it was. Pattern shape tool. Alright. So, I'm just going to kind of... I was on the wrong tool type. I was on the square tool type instead of a polygon. So, and if we trace all around here, I think that mostly works. Now we go to edit points. That's what I was doing wrong earlier. All these points closer into where our cliff wall shape is. Hey, how about that? Goody good, good, good. Up to layer 2. Okay. And let's go to our water brush and kind of fill in a couple of little areas here so that it looks like this is going right down. Okay, yeah, that'll do. And terrain brush, go back to our gravel. Shrink this brush size down. Put some of this in. Make it a little bit darker. Maybe that seems like it's a little bit deeper. What if we go to grotto in here? What do we get? Root walls? Oh, because I have fuzzy search turned on. That's why it's giving me root. I don't want root, I want grotto. Turn that off, and then we go over here. Let's look through here for... Alright, here we've got some more stones that we could use for our stalagmites and stalactites. Just little... yeah, kind of like that. I think that color works well for what I'm doing here. I'm going to turn the scale down on this one. What is scale? Alt. So this way maybe. Something like this. Then we're going to use our water brush. Add. We can't. I wanted to add a little pool in that area. Maybe this one will work. I need to put this on the right layer though. I'll use 200 there. Let's go like... Okay, there's our little waterfall that I was kind of talking about at the start. Does that work? I don't think it does. That's not quite what I want. That's too bad. Well, I'll have to figure something out. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Meanwhile, let's keep working through just adding a bunch of stuff in here. What was I going to grab? Object tool. Oh, more of these. There. Something like that. And I think I'm just going to stick with mostly these brown. These brown color scheme tiles from Cave Wall Obsidian. I really like the way that this one fades into the water a little bit. Throw that one down there, why not? What if we go to our path tool? Do we have actually a path that is... This might actually be... what I was looking for. Yeah, this kind of feels like the land area is raised up a little bit more out of the water. That's kind of what I wanted. This way now. Yeah, there we go. Let's come in and erase a couple areas of my water. Does that get me what I'm looking for? Okay, let's try something here. Trace around this area down here. Let's go the other way. This one. This way around. Let's see what happens if this in with a material brush. What was it under? Let's see what happens here. Yeah, there's the problem. I don't know if there's an easy way to cut out sections underneath here. Oh, I guess if I go down to there, or doesn't give me my gravel texture down there, though, does it? It doesn't look right. So, get rid of it. Okay, how can I raise this floor up? While I'm futzing around on that idea, let's go back to our water brush and erase a couple of little areas that stick out beyond the borders of what are supposed to be kind of little mini cliff faces here. Come on. Might have to live with a couple of I don't know why that's bugging me so much. Alright. Erase back into here, erase into here. There we go. Let's change the blend distance, maybe that. If I do this. Okay, that works. Okay. So if I hold down Alt and select a path, that's going to get me much closer to removing water that's outside of this little area. Yeah. Alright, cool. was holding the space bar instead of Alt. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's get these guys and raise them up to a higher level so that they cast shadows appropriately. Up to level 200. Let's go back to our path tool. This guy on, and let's see. I guess that I want to drive over in this direction around here. One thing that I haven't done very much of is when I finish my maps, bringing them into a photo editor and working on making changes there. And I might have to start doing that. Because I think that is going to help define some of the areas here. If I start adding in some overlays, some color overlays, it'll kind of tie things together, I think. Make it look a little bit more put together. This stuff up even higher. Except I can't. Yeah, that works. Okay, good. All right, get back to our water brush. See if we can't get rid of a few of these areas. Down Alt to remove that section and this section over here. Put that down here. Add in a little bit down here. Move this here. Another piece, as I'm putting these maps together, I'm trying not to think too much about telling too much of the story that's in my head. Because when I do that, it makes me pause and over-iterate even more than I already do. And I just want to bust out a bunch of these maps, get some practice with Dungeon Draft, so that my maps hopefully keep getting a little bit better, or at least I get a little more proficient with this as I go. Try something here, maybe this. Yeah. Right over to the edge like that. Okay. Back to our water brush. We're on polygon. There's that. Here's this. Get rid of a little piece over here. All right. That is the start of our grotto. I'm going to add in some more stuff here. Some more stalactites and stalagmites. Maybe other mushrooms and things like that. But it is 3:30 in the afternoon and I have some things that I have to attend to. So I'm going to stop the stream here. I'm Brian at Jickoby. If you watched this while it was live, or if you're tuning in later, thank you very much. Have an excellent afternoon, or morning, or evening, whenever you're watching this. And until we meet again, roll well, my friends.